I just wanted to tell you that I am so glad you agree that two men can love each other. Because I have two dads and they love each other, but at school kids think that it's gross and weird. These are the words of a 10-year-old girl written to President Obama, thanking him for supporting gay marriage. She goes on to say that people at her school treat her in a way that hurts her heart, all because she has two dads. Teachers, we know it's important to keep in mind that all of our students come from different backgrounds. We never assume anything about their prior knowledge or experiences when planning lessons or even when having a simple discussion with our class. We stock our libraries with books written by diverse authors about diverse subjects. We highlight our differences and how they strengthen us as a group. Different ethnicities, different abilities, different cultures all bring something different to the table. However, there is one group of people who exist in our schools but go virtually unnoticed. When they are noticed, they are often treated negatively because of the stigma surrounding their lives. This group of people is sexual minority families and their children, our students. There are many misperceptions about sexual minority families, and these misperceptions can lead to differential, often negative treatment of students in our schools. Teachers can participate in discrimination without realizing it. It's important to acknowledge that these families are just as valid as everyone else's, and that they should be treated with the respect afforded to everyone else. At the same time, there is a lot that can be learned by including sexual minority families in an open discussion in the school community. There are some terms to keep in mind when thinking about welcoming sexual minority families into the school environment. LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transsexual, a shorthand way of covering most sexual minorities. Heteronormativity is the explicit or implicit defining of heterosexuality as normal, which implies deviance of all other sexualities, effectively making heterosexuality invisible while calling attention to anything other than heterosexuality. Heterosexism is the reflection of heteronormative beliefs, discrimination against non-heterosexuality, whether purposeful or inadvertent. Some thoughts to keep in mind about student experience. Parents and teachers often overlook the fact that students with sexual minority parents have to continually come out themselves, disclosing their family structure to their classmates, teachers, and others. For many students, school is the first time that they realize their family isn't quote-unquote normal. If parents and teachers neglect to have open and honest discussions with their children and students, the children have to navigate this homophobia alone, hearing anti-gay slurs spoken by their peers, all too common in middle and high school. In many cases, they are constantly worrying about who might find out and what will happen if they do. Even students who are completely open about their family situation often fear retaliation if they report harassment to an adult. Some suggestions for creating an open and welcoming environment in the school and classroom. Keep in mind, students spend 13 years of their lives in our schools. If they don't feel safe, they don't learn. And if they don't learn, we aren't doing our jobs. Some teachers believe that condemning homophobic attacks in their classrooms would mean turning their backs on their faith by implying that homosexuality is acceptable. However, it's important for these teachers to realize that silence is not neutral. When they turn a blind eye to bullying, they are effectively condoning the bullying, and it will continue. Other teachers are openly and actively homophobic, and the damage that does to students with sexual minority parents is immeasurable. What teachers and administrators can do. First and foremost, we need to educate ourselves. The biggest source of homophobia is ignorance. Through professional development and training, even meeting just one person who is openly gay, teachers can begin to see that their heteronormative views are false. Be hyper-aware of the language that you use, on forms, in letters, and notes that go home, and in speech. In handbooks, give parent an open and inclusive definition, such as adults who take care of children. Use partner rather than husband, wife, boyfriend, or girlfriend. On forms, leave a large space for parents to provide information of all adults involved in the student's upbringing, rather than one line labeled mother and one labeled father. Include sexual orientation in your non-discrimination clause in the school rules and in anti-bullying campaigns, and stick to it. Do not allow derogatory slurs. If you do hear them, use them as teachable moments. Rather than simply saying, "That kind of language is not tolerated in this classroom," explain why it is hurtful. Be culturally aware of the objects in your classrooms and hallways. When including posters with diverse populations, include diverse families with pictures of sexual minority parents. Include books featuring sexual minority characters in your classroom library. If you have a role-playing theater, make sure you have multiple adult male and multiple adult female puppets or dolls. Some resources for you to check out. There are tons of resources available specifically for teachers and educators. Be sure to look into them to learn more and see about inviting organizations to give professional development and in-service presentations. The Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network, Welcoming Schools, and Point Foundation are just a few examples. There are more links and further resources in the video description. The letter from the 10-year-old girl with 2 dads drew a heartfelt reply from the president, one with advice that we as teachers and educators should follow, regardless of our beliefs, politics, or convictions. He said, "In America, no 2 families look the same. We celebrate this diversity, and we recognize that whether you have 2 dads or 1 mom, what matters above all is the love we show one another. Our differences unite us. You and I are blessed to live in a country where we are born equal, no matter what we look like on the outside, where we grow up, or who our parents are. A good rule is to treat others the way you hope they will treat you. Remind your friends at school about this rule if they say something that hurts your feelings." Thank you for watching. Feel free to share with your teachers, colleagues, administrators, principals, neighbors, friends, family, everybody. Have a great day.